Hey guys, it's LJZ0724, and you may notice I'm wearing the same white shirt that I have for, the last 3 reviews now. Yeah, I'm just making these 3 videos at the same night, so don't think this is all I wear. But this hat, this is my review hat. I'm gonna wear it most of the time. Once in a while I'm not going to wear the hat. This is one of my favorite hats. So yeah. This review is on a movie. It's part of the Horror Classics box set that I got this past Christmas. And it is George Romero's first movie. His first zombie movie. It's what introduced many people to him. Night of the Living Dead, and black and white film. 1968 film. It features Judith O'Dea, and I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. I was thinking at first it'd be sort of just dull and nothing would really happen, but it turns out this is a hidden gem among zombie movies. 'Cause most zombie movies nowadays, they rely on 3 things: blood, guts, and death. Yes, there's a little bit of all those 3 elements in this movie, but let me just say, this movie relies more heavily upon suspense than any of those 3. Which I think sets this apart, and really, I think that's how a zombie movie should be. This movie just falls in a category all its own, and personally, actually, I would have to say this this Night of the Living Dead movie, it actually seems like it has the best picture quality out of all the movies on this box set. So that's also a plus. And it's basically just about this this lady, her name's Barbara, and she's with her husband, and they're going to see a relative in this cemetery. So they go there, there's some thunder, and the husband is teasing Barbara about, oh, they're coming to get you. Remember when we came here as kids, and I used to scare you? They're coming to get you. He keeps on saying that. And he points this one, you can see like this lone figure out in the cemetery, shambling along. He's like, they're coming to get you. And Barbara's like, oh, please, it's just some guy. What? I'm not scared. And they're like, oh, okay, let's just leave now. But the husband takes 1 step further, and he actually runs away. So Barbara, starting to walk after him, she crosses the path of the man they saw out in the distance. And it turns out he's a zombie. He grabs Barbara. Guy tries to come to a rescue. He ends up getting killed in the process. And it's all just about her taking refuge in this old farmhouse and trying to board up and survive against this whole zombie apocalypse. And throughout the movie, she does also team up with this African-American guy and a family consisting of husband, wife, and 2 daughters? I think it's 2 daughters that were hiding in the basement of the farmhouse. It's their farmhouse. And there's some tension between the husband that was down the basement and the African-American guy. They sort of struggle. And one thing I did kind of notice was the ending, which I'm not going to give away the ending. The ending to this movie somewhat resembled The Last Man on Earth's ending, where... Well, that's all I'm going to say. If you've seen The Last Man on Earth, you know what I'm talking about. Let me just say this. It involves a death. And the ending was great. Ended on sort of like a low, horrific note. I don't know what else to say about this movie. There was great special effects for that time. And it also relies little on special effects as well. It's just so suspenseful, and it really does sort of show how a zombie movie can be at its core. You don't need all the razzle-dazzle, special effects, blood, gore, exploding brains in a zombie movie to make it work. That's what George Romero shows you. That's what you get. Now, George Romero, this is besides the point, but I just want to point out this one thing. George Romero, in his past couple movies, has, I'm afraid to say, shown a slight decline. I mean, yes, his first movies, Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead and Land of the Dead were decent, but once you get to Survival of the Dead and Diary of the Dead, they suck. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, at least Diary of the Dead is slightly more enjoyable, but still, he has shown a slight decline in his movies. I have heard some rumors that George Romero plans to make 2 more movies in the upcoming year or 2. We'll see how that turns out, but George Romero, I have faith in you still, that you can still make a great zombie flick, but this is a really, really great introduction into what would come from you. Really, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. You had a great start to your career. I hope you end on a great note. And I'd have to give Night of the Living Dead, 1968 film, I'd have to give it 5 out of 5, easy, no faults to this one. And that's about it, so thank you very much. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.